When I was working at CSIRO, it was funny, we had this like dichotomy happening because on the one hand, we had research projects with global partners, right? And then on the other hand, we were trying to work with the Australian industry. And I think we went into it thinking that the traditional manufacturing base would be the ones to adopt 3D printing, which, of course, in hindsight, I think is pretty naive. So had that kind of basically pretty painful experience, which is the traditional industry is not interested in adopting a new technology. And actually, it was a lot of the startups that were really open and keen. And so we realized this and we were able to, somewhat like craft and pivot our message and work out who we're trying to reach. But it was definitely a learning and one that took me by surprise. And it was not until a few years later that I actually saw the Diffusion of Innovations Theory. Basically, what it's saying is there are just certain types of people with certain types of psychology that will be open to adopting something new. And so you have on the very start of this tale, the innovators, and they're going to be the ones that are going to try everything. They don't care if it doesn't work. They just want to be the first. They're just super excited for something new, and they're always wanting to be on the cutting edge. Moving into sort of the early adopters, and they're the group that kind of like, they don't care if there's no manuals, they're just interested and they want to see how it works and they want to try and make it work. And then the early majority who are the ones who are like, I need to have a certain level of reliability, and I need to have a community of practice around this, and I need to have this be more widespread, and I need to see that there's proof of something working. And then you get into the late majority and then the laggards that kind of, that sort of speaks for itself. But anyway, the point being is that you actually just have to be patient with the process and also work out how to communicate to those different groups. So you've got different messages that go to different groups. That the innovators are going to have a very different message or need not a whole lot of convincing. But the early majority, that's a different set of messages. And they're the ones where you need to really craft communications accordingly.